Hello and welcome to our series From the Top, where we talk to the leaders in the aerospace industry. And I'm joined today by Gaël Méheust, who is the President and CEO of CFM. Now you're celebrating at the moment, aren't you? Tell us about that.
Yes, Alan, we're celebrating a very mind-blowing milestone. Think about that. We just passed 1 billion flight hours with our engines, with a CFM56 engine. And it's sometimes hard to understand what 1 billion flight hour is. But if you convert it into years, it represents 115,000 years. So it's a huge milestone. We are celebrating it. We are thanking our customers because they are the one who flew our engines, who carried 35 billion people. Imagine it's 5 times the population of Earth.
Wow, that really is quite something. So congratulations on that one. Let's look at the business now. You've got the billion hours, so you're getting the engines out there. The last time we spoke, you were having some backlog issues to catch up. How are you now with that?
So first, I want to just highlight the fact we have another record to celebrate, which is the record of the number of engines ordered. 50,000 engines have been ordered since the beginning of the program. That leaves us right now with a backlog of 15,000 engines, which represents 7 years of production. So as you can see, the situation of CFM is very strong. Now, you are right. Last time we spoke, I had to admit that we were a few weeks behind schedule in production. And I am happy to tell you now that we have been able to catch up. And we are on time, both with the NEO production, the Leap 1A production for Airbus, and for the Leap 1B production for Boeing. So we're back on track.
Great. And the Leap engine is making a difference, isn't it? We're focusing as an industry now on improving emissions and so on. Just remind us about the Leap engine and how well that does.
Well, you know, Alan, this engine, when we committed this engine to the market 10 years ago, a little more than 10 years ago, the goal was to bring an engine that would be 15% better in fuel efficiency as compared to the current generation of engines. And we did it. It's a proven fact. We achieved this very enormous objective. But we also committed to bring an engine that would be 50% better in NOx emissions compared to the CAPE 6 regulation, as we call it, and also be much better than the stage 4 noise regulation. And so our goal was really to bring to the market an engine that would have the same utilization ratio as the CFM56. So a mature engine compared to a brand new engine, same utilization ratio. And to much of our surprise, good surprise, we were able to achieve a slightly better utilization ratio with the Leap as we were with the CFM. So 96% of utilization ratio, which means if you take 1 year, for instance, it means that the Leap-powered airplane are used 350 days out of 365, which is a very remarkable thing for a brand new engine.
Now, of course, there are some Leap 1B engines that are sitting idle at the moment when we look at the incident with the 737 MAX. That must have made an impact on your business this year.
Well, first of all, I want to, convey all my confidence in Boeing and on the MAX airplane, and I'm pretty sure this airplane will come back in the sky, hopefully as quickly as possible. So far, it hasn't had much impact on us, fortunately, because we have continued producing the engines at the same stream output as we were doing before the airplane was grounded. So we've been able to continue producing. And so for us, so far, the impact is very minimum. So what we've done is we've used the time, available, having these engines on the ground to do what we call the time-sensitive maintenance. Anything that has to be done at some point of time on the engine, we pull this forward.
And finally, I'd like to look at the future. You're doing great stuff with gas-powered engines. We're seeing a lot these days about electrics and hybrids. Where do you see CFM going? And staying in a traditional role, or are you going to be innovative?
So we are working, indeed, already for the next generation engine. That's the way it goes in our business.
So the future is looking bright.
I think so. I think CFM cannot be in a better situation right now. We have the Leap, which is an amazing engine, best entry into service in the history of CFM, 96% utilization, 5 million flight hours already logged on the engine, and a backlog worth of 7 years of production. We are back on track on production, so we just need to see the MAX go back in the sky, and everything will be perfect.
Great, and I'm sure your shareholders are very happy with that as well. So, Gaël, thank you very much for joining us today.
Welcome.
Thank you.